What's going on, Tribe? Prepare Mentality here. I wanted to talk a little bit about severe winter weather. Now, as I look at the news here, they're predicting for January, we're in January 2025, into February, we might be looking at some significant cold weather. They're saying the clock is ticking on extensive, mild Pacific air that has infiltrated much of the United States in the past week. Meteorologists advise that drastically cold air from the Arctic will invade the central, southern, and eastern states and could set up a stormy pattern with areas of substantial snow, ice for much of the first half of January, and even the end of January. They're saying the bulk of this cold is likely to occur before the middle of the month. It may be so extreme that this could end up being the coldest January since 2011 for the US as a whole. The severity of the cold air could be dangerous, damaging, and disruptive, and is expected to create a big surge in demand for heating, leading to higher energy bills. So they're looking at very cold temperatures for January into February. So I thought this was a good opportunity for the beginning of the year to talk about some winter storm tips and tricks. The temperatures dropping and the potential for severe weather, it's important to be prepared and stay safe during these times, right? So let's talk about what a winter storm actually is. Uh, these storms come with a combination of snow, ice, freezing rain, bitter cold temperatures. They can disrupt travel, cause power outages, lead to dangerous conditions for hypothermia or even frostbite if you're caught unprepared in this type of weather. So, how do we prepare for winter storms, right? What is our preparation? So, number one thing we want to be ready for is the power to go out during winter storms. Uh, Road closures, uh, all of this makes getting supplies impossible, right? During winter storm. So we already want to have these preps in place or our preparations in place at home or where we're sheltering in place at. But mainly power outages is a big deal during winter storms. So the usual stock up, keep at least 3 days of supplies, water, non-perishable food. Don't forget manual tools like can openers, matches to light fire. Be careful with fires during this time. Even when the power is out, candles, monitor them at all times, especially if you have young children or pets around that can knock them over. Just be aware. Insulate your home, seal windows and doors with weather stripping or plastic sheeting or heavy covering. Close off unused rooms to conserve heat, right? A good example of this is get one of your rooms, a small room that everybody in your family can be in, and make sure all the heat is centralized in that room, right? You don't want to waste heat. You can use a Mr. Heater Buddy, right? That is always a go-to to heat a specific room. Put the candles in there to heat the room. Body heat also heats that room up as well with blankets. Some emergency supplies. You want to look at having a battery powered or hand crank radio for any updates of weather alerts, emergency alerts that may come up if your power is out. Of course, extra blankets, warm clothing. If you can get sleeping bags, if you have sleeping bags, those give warmth to your body. Of course, flashlights, extra batteries, the usuals. Some safety concerns if you're using space heaters, make sure they're placed away from flammable materials. Now, most space heaters run off electricity. You may have battery powered or fuel operated space heaters. Just monitor them, right? You want to make sure that you're having some airflow come through there as well. Uh, Never use a gas stove or charcoal grill to heat your home, right? This can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning. You don't want that. We don't want any injuries or significant medical issues during this time. Um, Another thing, we want to prepare our vehicles as well for winter storms with supplies, having a winter car kit, packing an ice scraper, shovel, emergency bag, kitty litter for traction, extra blankets, flashlights, high energy snacks, bottles of water, the usual, the usual things we would have. Just winterize it, right? This is a good time to check your vehicles, vehicle maintenance, making sure that your tires are properly treaded, uh, good pressure, ensure your battery is fully charged on your vehicle. Keep your gas tank above half, right? At least try to keep it full at all times, but don't let it get below half. Keep it above half. Um, Again, you don't need me to tell you this. Avoid driving during severe weather if possible. If it's not an emergency, don't drive in horrible weather. If you must drive, of course, go slowly. Um, just, I would not advise driving in severe blizzard weather because you got ice, you got blocked roads, trees may come down, power lines may come down. And then if there's no power, right, this makes it even more dangerous because traffic lights may go down. Um, so it's just a disaster overall. Some personal safety tips: stay indoors, right? Avoid trips outside, avoid traveling. Um, if you must go outside in a blizzard, again, stay in layers, cover exposed skin, even your face, um, hands. You don't want frostbite, you don't want hypothermia, right? Avoid getting wet. Um, and Yeah, I think hypothermia and frostbite gets a lot of people. Um, Hypothermia, some symptoms that may come with that: shivering, slurred speech, some confusion, right? Some signs of frostbite include numbness in the fingers, numbness in a individual body part, um, skin that appears waxy or discolored, uh, or discolored in the face, um, or in the hands, or in the feet, toes, right? Discoloration, black. Uh, you'll know the signs. If you notice these signs, get immediately in a warm place and seek possible medical attention if possible. If you guys can. Uh, I wrote down some post storm tips. Clearing snow safely. Now, this gets a lot of people, especially people with bad backs or didn't know they had a bad back. A lot of people's backs get pulled during the removal of snow, shoveling, moving snow piles from one place to another. Just be careful, right? Use your legs, don't use your back. That's what I always say. Use proper techniques to avoid straining your back. So, you want to make sure that if you do have older pipes or an older house, uh, opening up cabinets with pipes in them help create a warm environment. Um, your water sprouts outside of your home, make sure you open those up, turn off the water from inside, figure out how to do that in advance so your pipes don't freeze, and or if you don't have pipes that expand naturally, right? You don't get a burst pipe. That's the last thing you want. Um, but just taking these steps now can make all the difference during a winter emergency event in severe weather. Of course, we want to stay safe, we want to stay warm, and we want to stay prepared. Right? Winter weather gets tricky because things are still going. We still have jobs. We still need to get places. So, again, follow your local news channels, follow your local Facebook emergency groups. They'll have some good advice, good weather alerts on there as well. So just be mindful of, do you need to go certain places? Is it immediate? Is it an emergency? Can it wait for the next day? You just don't want to go into a winter storm, or when it's icy out, or there's significant snow on the ground. Hopefully, you have some type of sense not to go anywhere and stay put inside until, the weather gets a little bit better, or the sun comes out to melt some of the ice or snow. But really, that was all I wanted to touch on with winter weather. Just some tips to give you guys for the upcoming cold that's going to come upon us. So be safe, be healthy, stay blessed. It's Prepare Mentality.